Zaki Zakwan don't seem to develop as normally as other babies. As time goes on, we realize that there's no answer to their condition.
All four of the kids sleep in a single room. Also to have someone look after Jayden at night.
This is the first time that Jayden will have his own room.
There was no conclusion to Athira, why it happened. And then we had Sienna, who was again showing delayed milestones.
This could be the world's first case of a new syndrome.
This is the start of the new school year for Jayden. Jayden requires a permanent caregiver because of his dependency for feeding as well as for toileting. So grandma will be there for the entire day.
Okay, hello everyone. First thing first, we are going to mark your attendance. Take your picture from here and you are going to tell me whether are you present or absent. After taking your picture, tell me...
My class has 7 kids, including Jayden. They are between 16 to 18 years old. It's the graduating batch.
Okay, Jayden, picture please. Well done, Jayden is in school today. Good job.
We try to group them according to the same learning needs. So this class is actually part of the multiple disabilities profile.
You can tap the button to say hello, okay? Hello. Very good, Jayden, I heard that. Okay, I will go to Sean first.
My focus for this class, and especially Jayden, is to get them to learn basic life skills.
Which is $1? This or this? Take and give it to me?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay.
After my students graduate, the post-18 activities we classify according to 3 to 4 routes. So 1 is supported employment, where they get to work in the fast food settings or other industries.
Okay.
When it comes to Jayden and my class, they are more of the day activity center. So generally what they do there is like what you see in school, but they'll get more personalized activities.
Hey Jayden, can you tell me what you want to eat first? You want to eat or drink?
Our goal is that before he goes into a day activity center, he can train his independence and he learn how to self-feed and even to drink lah.
You want to?
They're not planning to get him to be with grandma there.
You water 对汤。叶兰，他小时候到现在我带他上学，他毕业我就跟着毕业，我会担心，因为我要每天陪他，陪他去toilet啦、冲凉这些。Can you one more time? Can?
Okay. Can you carry what?
换啦
So this is our new place. Okay, we're going to stay here from today onwards, Jayden. This is a new living room. It's
New
bigger space
living
lah.
room. Jayden is very excited.
Can we see? You want to go to and see your room already? Okay, so this is Jayden's room. Wow, look, it's your favorite color.
So today, you will be sleeping alone here.
You
This
big
is
boy
your
already,
big
big
boy.
man. Big man must sleep alone. Yes?
Yes? Jayden from young slept together with her siblings. She has always needed 24/7 care. Today we are moving a lot of our stuff into the new place.
Sit down here, we're going to open the mattress. Because the old one we throw away. This is yours. Jayden now is actually 17 years old.
Because he's getting older, so we hope that Jayden will stay in his own room and learn how to take care of himself. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why we moved to a bigger place.
So this is Daddy's and
Daddy,
Mommy
Mommy
will sleep. He's just only starting to actually walk more independently. So one of the worry that we have is that Jayden may wander around in the night when he can actually open the main door himself.
Sit in your place. Come. Hold the fork properly.
In the morning, while Suman helps in cooking the breakfast and getting the kids ready, I take care of their medicine before we send them to school. So Sienna is on epilepsy medication, and this is the medication that we give her twice a day. She had her first attack in 2013 as she was about 3 years old. She was in ICU for over a day, and her vital stats were all low, and it was actually a miracle that she came back. 2016 she had the last attack, and she has been off any seizure episodes after that. In 2019, doctor was thinking about weaning her away from this medication. And then we had the COVID outbreak. So these discussions were stopped. We'll have to reassess when we meet the doctor again. Compared to Sienna, Athira used to have more frequent and intense episodes of epilepsy.
Athira started getting her seizures at the age of 3. She had severe seizures until 3.5 years.
Sometimes as frequent as once in 2 days. But once she was put on medication, her seizures did not continue. Athira's medication was stopped about 13 years ago. But recently this year she has had 2 episodes of epilepsy. As parents, we are worried that each time that there is epilepsy attack, it impacts the brain.
In 2015, when Athira and Sienna came to my clinic, they were undiagnosed. Usually when I see children with features like them, they are only one in the family. But here I had a pair of siblings with similar features of delay in development, difficulty in walking, and absence of speech. That's when we decided to recruit them for a research program.
We enrolled into Bridges in 2016 with the hope that we would find out a diagnosis and a treatment. This research was very important to us because we knew what their symptoms were, but we did not know the right diagnosis.
They have a change in UGTH. We found out that Athira and Sienna had a unique change in their genetic code in this gene called UGTH, which we didn't know much about at that point of time. We reached out to clinicians and researchers globally. We identified 7 affected children who also had a unique spelling change in the UGTH gene. When we got the 9 individuals with what we think is a potentially new syndrome, we took skin samples from Athira and one other family and brought them to the lab and compared it to the cells from a healthy individual. What we did see was that there was a drastic change in how the brain was organized. The genetic change that we were seeing in UGTH was responsible for delay in development and speech, and in some cases causes seizures.
A medical team in Singapore has identified the world's first known case of a new condition known as Jamwa syndrome.
Caused by a genetic disorder.
One day we got a call from Dr. Soumya Jomar's assistant saying that there was a diagnosis.
And we were very happy and joyful and excited.
So all of us have 2 copies of every gene. One comes from mom, one comes from dad. And as long as you have 1 copy that works, we are healthy. It just so happened that parents of Sienna and Athira passed down 1 copy each that was not working. And so Sienna and Athira had both copies that were not working. And that's why they ended up with the disease, Jamwa syndrome. Having a diagnosis gives us the hope of finding a treatment for this disease. We do not have it yet, but that's where we want to go.
Okay, Takwan. You want to go and eat? Look here, look at me. You want to go and eat? Zakwan. Zaki, you want to go and... Zakwan, Zaki, you want to go and eat? Yeah? Okay, I show you where you want to go. Even though we talk a lot to Zaki and Zakwan, till today, they still are unable to respond to us verbally. Okay, wait. Initially, we thought that it's just a developmental delay. So we were actually very hopeful that they will develop the speech. Want to go here? Want to go and eat here? Huh? You don't want? It was like only the past maybe 1-2 years that we saw a lot of improvement in Zaki and Zakwan trying to communicate with us. Go here, we go here. Go here. So they tried to do it by giving us some hand gestures to let us know how they feel or what they want or where they want to go. So that's an improvement. Zaki want to eat this one. Oh, Zaki want to eat. Zakwan don't want. Don't want. Okay, are you good? Are you okay? Yeah, you're okay. Yeah. Open your mouth. Say We continue to help them in verbalizing, trying to get them to repeat after us. And then every single sound that they make, we say, oh, it could be, they are beginning to talk. How you say thank you? How you say thank you? Thank you. How you say sorry? Sorry. But over time, we realized that despite all our intervention, they are still unable to speak. Zakwan, can you tell me where pain? Each time Zakwan falls sick, it really worries us because we are unable to tell exactly what is wrong. So it's actually like a lot of guessing.
Come, Atira, come. Stand over your back.
So today we are going to KKH to meet Dr. Terence Thomas, who is a neurologist. Come, Sienna. Let's go. Since Sienna has been very stable and in the last 3-4 years, we would want to ask doctor what is the next course of action for her. Atira, concern that we have on Atira's relapse, we want to again check whether we should put her on medication so that she does not get any more episodes on epilepsy.
Hello, doctor.
Wow, they're grown, getting taller.
Yes.
So it's been a year since we last met.
Yes.
How have things been generally?
Well, that things are have progressed much better. But the concern is that Atira got seizures twice this year.
Seizures a long seizure or short?
It happened in school. The principal said that it was 8 minutes jerking the 4 limbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before the seizure, was she unwell?
No, she was okay.
Doctor, would you know what would have triggered her seizure episodes this year?
Alright. Seizure-wise, none, right?
She's okay. Her last seizure was in 2016.
We did discuss there is a possibility we can wean off and stop the medicines. So over the next year, we'll be gradually reducing it to stop.
Okay.
For Atira, there's no clear explanation why the seizure happened. I don't think we should rush to medicines yet. Again, the seizures are very infrequent, right? Let's watch over the next year.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
So I think we travel around the 4th and come back early Feb.
Yeah. After our appointment with Dr. Terence, we are comfortable to plan our trip to India. We'll have to check your leave as well. This is our first trip since 2019, and that trip was before any diagnosis was made for our children. So this is very significant for us because now we'll be traveling with a diagnosis for our children.
Come. Slow down. Today we are having our lunch at Pizza Hut over at East Point. We are actually very excited. Okay, happy? Yeah. Okay, so happy.
Initially, we felt a bit scared going out.
can't see first what you want to eat.
I recall one day Zakwan didn't like the place that we wanted to go and he pushed down a mannequin. Over the years, their social skills has improved tremendously.
Okay, Zakwan. Later we go and buy shoes, okay?
Can? Yes.
Zakwan want to go to school already. Zakwan need to buy school
No.
shoes. Okay? See your shoes. It's too small for you already.
Hey, change shoes.
We buy shoes,
New
okay?
shoes.
Go to the shop, buy
Right?
shoes. Yeah?
No?
Okay?
Zakwan is really showing signs of protesting, buying shoes. Hopefully, we can try to persuade him whether he can, cooperate with us.
Yeah? High five. Come, let's go, come. Let's go. We have faced many meltdowns in public with both of them, but it did not stop us from bringing them out. Because we're going to buy shoes, okay? Okay, we go there and buy shoes, huh? We want them to experience the same as other children. Start here, okay?
Okay,
huh?
we buy shoes.
Second one, second one.
Okay, come on.
Then I bring Zakir. Come, Zakir, come.
Buy shoes.
Okay, come.
Let's go.
Okay?
He refused to go inside and we don't want to force him to go inside because I think he will create some trouble inside. Come, a while only. Come, stand up. Come, stand up here. Because I think the sister said something about the shoes, so he doesn't like. So he gets down on the floor to show his protest. So we'll get him some time before he actually recovers.
The first time when they had meltdown, we were shocked. Everybody will stop and look.
Okay, up.
But over time, we realized we should just focus on the two of them and see what we can do to manage them when they're having the meltdown.
I've put out this 2021 paper that actually has management recommendations we can use for Jayden.
I've seen Jayden since he was 18 months old. He had a delay in his milestones in walking and speaking, and he was referred for genetic testing. When a child presents with either developmental delay of unknown cause or with symptoms affecting more than one system in the body, we may suspect that there's an underlying genetic diagnosis.
When we got on board the genetic research in 2007, Jayden was about 2+ years. Initially, we were quite hopeful, but then after 2-3 years, we do feel that maybe there wasn't much hope.
So from the time we enrolled him in the study, we did what tests were available. It was testing a list of genes which were already known to be associated with developmental delay. When the technology became available to do whole genome sequencing, when all our genes can be sequenced in one analysis, that was when his sample was retested.
Jayden finally got his diagnosis of Pura syndrome at age 9 after waiting for about 7 years. We were happy, I should say happy and sad 50-50%. Why? Happy is because you got the diagnosis, but sad is at the moment there's no cure. Bring it forward.
Pura syndrome is a very rare genetic condition associated with developmental delay. Babies born with Pura syndrome would have very low muscle tone, and this can cause problems with breathing or feeding. There are only 200 plus patients globally, and there are only 2 known patients in Singapore.
Started to realize, oh, there are kids that are currently at the age of 30 plus 40 that's being diagnosed with Pura syndrome. At least we know that Jayden, most likely the lifespan will be able to reach that kind of limit. My husband is already 50 this year. I'm also 47. So if you think about it, we don't have much time left. Because we hope that at least while we are still around, The cure is there.
For many genetic conditions where there is no cure at this point of time, we manage their symptoms.
The other common characteristic that is now reported include constipation, scoliosis and hip dysplasia.
Sometimes we look up latest findings in the condition that will help us to know what we need to look out for when we examine the patient. Currently, Jayden does not suffer any seizures, but we know from the latest paper in 2021 that 60% of individuals with Pura syndrome will develop seizures. And if they do, they tend to develop up till the age of 18. Jayden, who is turning 18 next year, it's important for his parents to be aware of this risk.
Last week, Athira was sitting on her favorite beanbag, watching TV. Suddenly we saw her slumped on the ground and her body stiff. So we knew it was an episode of epilepsy.
She had this attack for around 15 minutes. So at around 6 minutes, we inserted the rectal suppository. The seizure, in fact, it aggravated at 9 minutes. So that is when we called the paramedics. They rushed her to CGH. She was admitted in CGH for around 4 days.
We have started her on this medication twice a day. She's back at home and she's recuperating, but she's weak.
We have planned a trip to India very soon, and we are a bit concerned.
So we are traveling.
Okay, and how long are you gone for?
Almost a month, doctor.
It should be okay.
Recently, we observed that during feeding time, Jayden has been having those kind of very uncontrolled eye movement.
Could be an onset to seizure.
We have been doing many tests over the years. I think this time we do have an answer.